morning. How is everybody? Good, good, good. I am, as always, stressed because I'm trying to get, the computer to do things, and that's my sweet spot. Loving me this NTI lifestyle. So Kaylee is being a good girl and working ahead, and she is on. Hey Chad, this is saying that Google isn't working. That can't be right. So I'm live here. Everybody hear me. So my Mac is saying no internet. So Tech Man Chad is on the case while we get ready. Here's the keypad if you need it. Speed Demon, where are you going? You can turn things. It's crazy. All right. So Kaylee is working ahead on to AP Central Chapter 4, and that's all about dirt and soil triangles, and I feel very, very confident that they're not going to have you interpret a soil triangle. It's kind of one of those things. I'm sure I have it in my AP guide, AP instructor's guide. But like I said, that's going to be something that you could probably Google very quickly, and I don't think it's going to be on there. So I'm looking at Chapter 7 next, and let's see, today is the 14th. So it looks like, according to what Kaylee sent me, that is not something that you guys are going to be ready to tackle by yourself until we do at least Chapter 7 in our textbook. And I just wanted to, and I reiterated to Kaylee that so I just wanted to reiterate to Kaylee that, remember, this test is not going to ask you stuff that you know verbatim. Like this, of all of the tests, Chapter 8. What is Chapter 8? We're close, right? If we do Chapter 7, aquatic biodiversity, we can do that next. I was actually looking, well, not next, but after that next. I was looking actually at, I think Chapter 11, which talks about sharks, and it's also aquatic, because I sincerely don't have a lot of aquatic, because, we're from Kentucky. So I was actually looking at Chapter 11. So Chloe, look at Chapter 11 and see if that might work as well. So without further ado, I do want to talk about, I've had some soul-searching time, and I think what I'd like to do, I'd like to hear your guys, save the sharks, not the turtles. I would like to have you guys, your input on maybe having not days off, because that's not using our penis, but maybe not lecturing on the days that I give you quizzes this week. And that will, sharks and solar panels, and that will extend this chapter. So I was really surprised when I thought we could push it and get through this chapter in a week. And then last night, I was soul searching, and I thought you guys have worked so hard and you're tackling so much that I thought maybe instead of, see, I got my handy dandy planner, I thought maybe instead of lecturing on Wednesday, I just give you your quiz on Wednesday, and that's it, no lecture. And then lecture on Thursday, and then no lecture on Friday, just quiz. And then that will put us finishing up lecture on Monday, and unit test on Tuesday. So that would give you guys 2 days to where all you have to do is take a vocab quiz and then spend that 84 minutes that you and I typically spend together just focusing on getting more of your AP Central done, getting other chapters conquered, if that's your cup of tea, right? To dive deeper and to figure out, because please understand, everything I mean, like, we're gonna come close. We're gonna come close. But as hard as we're working, we're gonna come close to covering everything. But that was my thoughts last night. So Ella has said yes. Nobody else is really saying much. Because we can push it and start another chapter next Monday, or have a couple of days where your quiz counts as your instructional day, and we would start a new unit on Wednesday. Okay, so you guys think about that. I am not going to be able to see your... Let me see if I can... Here, hang on.
What's going on?
You want to tell the children what you're doing?
Hey guys, so we've got some problems with the Mac. You know, Stephanie sits at the dining room table, which is pretty big, and there's a laptop, the Mac, like 3 keyboards. She looks like a modern day DJ, if you will, right? Sitting behind all the turntables and the screens and making the magic happen. But the Mac is not connecting to the internet, so that's what I'm trying to work on right now. It's good to see you guys. Glad you're doing good. It's like everybody's liking the plan. Yeah, maybe not really getting a day off, but you're kind of getting a day off, right? So it's good.
It's a Skimehorn day off.
Yeah. Oh, guys, listen, I've got a Skype meeting going on in there right now at the kitchen table that I had to walk away from. The guy's still in there talking. Things got very technical, very boring. I'm finding out I'm not good at projects. I'm not good at computer work. I may have some adult ADHD going on. I've got issues, guys, and this time working from home has shown me that. Love you. Mean
it. You didn't want to add to how hard I make you work. You just wanted to talk about your adult ADHD.
Yeah, I got sidetracked. Imagine that.
Okay. Oh, hey, Reagan.
What's your name and password?
Hey, Jenna. I cannot say that on the internet. Thank you.
Put it out there. Name and password, please.
You know what they are. S. Skimehorn is my name.
Okay, stop.
Right? Okay, Luke, I heard that College Board may test us over stuff relevant to the pandemic, especially AP Hug. APES is a problem solution class, so if we have time, could we review some of those ideas? For sure. So, yes, actually, and I can post. Here's the thing, Lucas, about that, and not that I'm not doubting your sources, but, it is a problem solutions class, you are right. But the thing that's making me feel like that's not a good source is because on Unit 9, that is the Unit 9 has, not Unit 9. Oh, here we go. Pathogens and infectious diseases are in Unit 8, which is not going to be tested. So I feel like that is not going to be the question, because they specifically said they will leave out Units 8 and 9. And Unit 8, 8.14, 8.15 are both pollution and human health issues, and then pathogens and infectious diseases. So, because they explicitly said they're not going to cover infectious diseases, pathogens, human diseases, if they then turn around and give us COVID-19, I feel like you guys may have the ability to sue them. So, yes, if you want to hedge your bets, and I mean, Luke, that sounds like a thing that you would want to do. And Luke, I already have the chapter PowerPoint prepared for that. And if you'd like for me to post that for you to look at and see everything I got, I'd be totally down to do that. I don't think it's going to be COVID-19. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think it can be, because like, why did they not leave off soil and let us talk about something cool like COVID? But instead, they want us to talk about loam, right, Kaylee? Okay, so from what I've heard from the browser application required in AP testing should be downloaded. I looked on the website, and I need to purchase is for students. Otherwise, there should be a code. Yes, I did not get a code. Who can I contact? Neil Hayden. And I think that they are the guidance counselor that's in charge of AP testing is Neil Hayden. And if I have gotten a code on AP Central, I certainly don't know that I have. So I don't purchase anything, because that doesn't sound right to me at all. Now, with you, I understand that you're a little different, Harry, because you are a BYOD, but you still should not have to purchase anything. That doesn't sound right to me at all. So don't do that. Don't do that. Let's see what we've got going on. Jenna, I'm so excited that you are with us this morning. I don't know if you're always with us. And okay, Luke. And you just don't talk, which sounds like you, but what a blessing to get to see your sweet little name pop up. And Chloe and Reagan, like all my quiet girls that I miss so much. Where is Sarah Ford? Does anybody know? Like, she just randomly crosses my heart, and like, I don't know. Is it? Yeah, Ella, doesn't she sit on the other side of you? Isn't she your like attendance buddy? You really need to check in and check on her, because I'm missing that face. Yeah, no, good. So Luke, if I forget, because remember who I am, if I forget to go ahead and post that chapter for you guys, I will. But like I said, I feel like that's not going to be what it's going to be. You are going to have a problem solution question, and you're going to have a designing an experiment question, applying the knowledge that you have. Did you turn the computer completely off, Chad?
I just did a restart on it.
Okay. Sorry.
You want me to turn it completely off?
I would turn it completely off, and then, push the red button. I'd push the red button. All right, so without further ado, let me see. Can I use my phone to see your all's comments? I'm flipping out a little bit about not being able to see you. Chad loves the comment part. He said that was his favorite part of everything. And I'm so blessed that we were here and you guys got to see. Okay, good. I can do this. Oh, no. Oh, wait, here it is. No, stop. Come back, phone. Come back. Oh, poop. Okay, let me try it again. No, go away. Okay. Sarah watches the live stream later in the day. I know, but I don't get to see her name ever. Like, she needs to she needs to throw a dog a bone. Like, I was kind of going through everything and sort of going down the rows, and I mean, I feel like almost everybody has at least at one point. Kaylee, just don't. Kaylee, just don't. Yeah, just don't. Okay. Kaylee, you have a BYOD. We talked about this a while ago. You guys should have restarted your computer, like shut it completely down and restarted it, and I believe an icon showed up for you all that should get you ready to take the test. But again, that is over a month away. So we're focused on things that are over a month away instead of focusing on the things that are right here. So I think she watched one of them live last week, but she didn't say anything. I miss her face. I watched this show, and there was this cool computer girl, and I thought of you. And now instead of seeing like Emily, I see Lemmy, which is funny. And I think about Chad talking about bread. Hello, bread. So yeah, Chad, I was blessed that he showed up, and well, he's still here, and that he got to share his expertise with you guys about cars and stuff. Hydrogen, right? Because whatever. The fact that he threw out hydrogen sulfide was pretty impressive to me. We didn't pre-plan that, so that was good. Okay, except for my stupid phone once it shut down, and that upsets me very, very much. All right, so I feel like I've given everybody enough time to log in, log on. Hey, Bryson. I hear it does. I do sometimes, I haven't done it this week. RPI does a live stretch that is, I think, pretty good. So this is not going to be nearly as long as yesterday was. Yesterday was the for real last question. How do we know if we have it? I love it, Kaylee. How am I supposed to know that you know when you have it? I feel like this is a bad Friends episode. Like, is there an icon on your computer that doesn't? Look, Kaylee, you post this to the group chat because I feel like that Trevor and Caleb immediately solve your problems. There's a yoga stream at 3:30 on Facebook for my climbing club. Luke, you should join. See? Look at there. Okay, solar energy. What?
Climbing club. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, oh, well, this is Bread, and she is also in a climbing club. Listen, she's not messing around. And her mom is going to run like a 100-mile race.
I'm interested in a climbing club. Ace and I like to climb.
Okay, so Bread.
Please email us later with details about the climbing club.
Brad, he wants to know details about your climbing club. He and Ace would like to join. So, solar power. This is a concept that I think that you, this is a concept that I think you kind of know a little bit about because you've seen them. But passive solar heating versus active solar heating, and just having those two words thrown out at you should give you the answer to the question, right? So if it's passive, it's just using the sun. There is nothing really special about it. You just have your solar cells, and that's it. I found this picture, and I liked it because it incorporated more than just, well, that's the sun. So you also had to have a well-insulated structure, right? So that's one of the things. Walls and floors made of concrete, adobe, brick, or stone. Notice that the positioning of the house, I don't know that I put this in your lecture, but they talked a lot about the positioning of your house and the positioning of your windows. So if you drive down a street, you will notice that all of the houses are facing each other typically. which tells me that we build our structures based on a pre-established grid, if you will, and not necessarily the direction of the sun. And then it's also up to you to what do you prefer? Like, do you prefer the sun to be shining in the front of your house on do you prefer the sun to be shining in the front of your house in the morning? Do you prefer the sun to be shining in the front of your house in the afternoon? Do you never prefer the sun to be shining in your house? If you have a passive solar heating system, you're going to need appropriately placed windows, capturing, maximizing how much sun you're getting. Notice that they have a ceiling fan that is pulling out. Okay, right. I need everybody to calm down about the icon that's not on your laptop because it's over a month away. You are not focusing on the content that is right before your face because you're focused on something that is over a month away. Oh God, Kaylee, shut up. So her text messages are coming over on my phone now that I'm having to use to watch your comments. So me telling her to save it just meant she used her chaos in a different way to get to me. Kaylee, stop it. Okay, anyway, so ceiling fans, pulling heat out in the summer, pushing heat down in the winter. All of these things are passive. So please notice that there are other requirements other than you just throw a house up and you hope for the best. This would probably not work well for us because we have such extreme winters and summers. Active solar heating systems, I feel like we could definitely get down with. They do use insulation. They also do use active pumping systems. They do also have specifics for their windows, and they do also prefer that the sun have the most access to you, right? Like they want your house position so that you're maximizing the sun's rays getting into your house. So active means you've got to have a pump, and typically that means having energy of some sort that at least originated from a fossil fuel. So one of the ways that your book talked about that we can cool buildings naturally, and this is for real, something that I have never, like talking to freshmen about building houses and installing shade trees. I feel like that's a little silly, but if your house is shaded, it does take your energy bills down. There are negatives to having your houses shaded, but there are also positives. So I'm a big fan of the shade tree, broad hanging eaves, meaning that shade is established from your roof. Those draped, covered, whatever those things are that hang over your windows, all of that is to shade. Awnings, Chad says. Now, I have never seen this, but you can have a white roof. This is crazy. I don't know why we don't have more white roofs, but I found some pictures on the internet, and this is really cool. So if you look at the picture that I found, your black roof on a hot sunny day is up to 180 degrees. Your metal roof on the same, right, hot sunny day can get up to 160, but a white roof will maximize its temperature at 120, which is huge. Like that's 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's a big deal. So I would think maybe we don't see a lot of white roofs because it's also cold in the winter. So we're trying to heat and cool. So that's an option, or you can use a green roof, which I'm totally down to do at any moment. Use geothermal heat. So we had a family member that had geothermal heat, and I am here to tell you that it is, for them, it was not ideal. The idea of geothermal is you drill down, you run pipes, and they call it a fluid. So I'm going to say it's not just water, but it's some sort of fluid. And if you'll look at the pictures with me, we're looking at the flow of the fluid. So if you take it down first, or if you take it through the house first, determines whether it's heating or cooling. So when in the winter, water circulating inside a sealed loop system absorbs heat from the earth and carries it to your house. In the summer, the system reverses and expels the heat from your home to the cooler earth via the same closed loop system. And then it drops the heat off and picks the coolness up from the earth. And okay, so I thought I put in the PowerPoint. I guess I took it out. Typically, these will have coils in the floor to do this. So some sort of, to put a geothermal system in your home before or after you've built your house, I think would be crazy. Like, I'm sure you could do it. If you wanted to pay enough, you could do it. And maybe this is coming later in the PowerPoint, but I feel like it's somewhere around $25,000-$30,000 to do geothermal. So it's very expensive just to do it when you're building your home. And I think after you've built your home, ripping your floors up, doing all that stuff would be incredible. So Luke asks, is metal better than other materials? It looks like yes, if your goal is to keep your temperature low. I think metal is not as good if you're wanting to insulate. But I loved, when I was a child, Nanny had a metal roof, and I loved it. And, it was good. So we can concentrate sunlight to produce high temperature heat and electricity. This is a CSP. This is what it looks like. I'm not going to show you the videos for fear of what YouTube will do. Luke, especially, and I was going to say some older schools may do this, but for real, we used to have the old steam boiler in Davis County High School, like when you guys were born, like in the last 14 years. Because where you guys sat against the wall next to the windows, that's where my steamer, boiler, air conditioner unit was. It's crazy. So this is focusing on, okay, so Kaylee wants to know, is geothermal a better option, but more on the expensive side? Again, I'm going to say, what's your opinion of the better option? So is it more energy efficient? Yes. Is it more efficient? No. My sister-in-law had a geothermal unit, and her house was never hot or never warm and never cool. So it does an okay job, but it wasn't great at either. So that's the problem, is if your idea of better is getting your house to a nice 64 degrees at night during the summertime so you can sleep snug as a bug in a rug, that's not going to happen with a geothermal unit.
It was a super old house, too.
And Chad wants you to know it was a super old house, too. So the problem with the solar thermal systems is that their net energy is low. So look like this field, yes, for sure, better option for the environment, I think. Look at how much land this is taking up. Look at how much materials that's used to produce this combined solar system. This is a lot. And this is, I don't know. I'm assuming, well, I mean, it looks like there's a flag from a country that's not ours. But I'm assuming this is a real picture. They need large government subsidies or tax breaks in order to compete in the marketplace with alternatives that have higher net energy yields. And we've talked a lot about how government involvement can either swing the pendulum more towards the green options or swing it continuously towards fossil fuels. So this is going to be, again, something that if this were your grid and this sustained your city, and you knock out those panels, which are clearly going to be visible from miles away, you could knock out the city's energy grid. So they work best in hot, arid regions, so water shortage is also a problem because they use large amounts of water to cool them, to cool the systems. And then they also have to have their surfaces constantly washed. They're, as you can see, because it is an arid region, it should make sense to you that dust, wind erosion, those kinds of things collecting on these, and these mirrors are curved. So it's called a parabolic trough. And I don't know if like parabolic is that a geometry word? It's the UAE in the picture. Okay, so I'm assuming human geography people, that will make sense to you. So it's Jordan, I think. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. Okay. So a parabola, I know that that's a word, right? So I think there's got to be something about the parabolic trough, that U-shaped, that's going to collect that dust, and so they have to constantly be washing them, and so that makes, never mind, the green was on top. So we can also use solar cells to produce electricity. This is a photovoltaic cell, and again, photo means light. So big scary word, break it down. We can convert solar energy directly into electrical energy using these solar cells. Oftentimes they'll sell off if you have extra at the end of the day. And when the sunlight strikes these transparent cells, they produce electricity, and then man cells wired together in a panel can produce electrical powers. I'm going to say that man is not the word I meant right there, but we wire all these panels together, and it's not bioaccumulation, but it makes me think of bioaccumulation, right? We send it all the way down the grid, all of these panels working together, wired together, and then we pump them into homes. This is super cool to me. And when you think about all of the like 4th grade solar energy projects that you guys were asked to do or whatever, that is applicable in the third world. And I think that would be a really cool use of our funds. Nearly 1.6 billion people, or 1 out of 4, live in less developed countries in rural villages, and they're not connected to any grid. So these solar grids are allowing them to have access to electricity, which is in essence lifting them out of poverty, right? So just having access to an electric cooker to distill your water, it does crack me up, because I was looking in some of the pictures, they had third world country people, and they were using their solar panels to power their cell phones, and I was like, oh, sad. But electricity to cook, to heat, to keep you alive, all of those are great, great things. They emit no greenhouse gases, but they aren't carbon free because fossil fuels are used to produce and transport the panels, meaning that they're a great alternative, but they're not free. Now, the damage that happens to these solar cells is legit. And I know that it was one of the classes that we talked about. The problem is once they're done, they're done. I don't even know. It may have even been 2 of our classes that we were looking up how when it's down, when they're down, nobody will take them. So this was not in America. I can't remember now where I found this picture, but it wasn't in America. They just take them out in this field, and they just throw them in this field, which is not a great problem solver, right? So I remember Harry, right? Harry got crazy about the cadmium that's in the solar cells, and that's one of the toxic materials that lives in the solar cells. And the sharks destroy them when they jump on top of them, for sure. So there is a big problem with our solar cells as they exist today. I think that they're pretty sturdy, but not sturdy enough. They're not highly efficient, so they have a low to medium net yield, but we're working on that. They are expensive, right? Just to get it going, it's going to cost a lot of money. And that's it. Check out how cool my intro to 16-3 is. So, couple of things, because we skipped the videos, that doesn't mean, yes, Luke, a hailstorm absolutely could wipe out a farm. It depends clearly on the, like how aggressive the hailstorm was, but yes, big bowls falling from heaven would definitely do some major damage. And I think once a little bit of damage happens, the efficiency drops incredibly. So things that I don't know that I would be interested in knowing, because I would be the kind of person that would buy solar panels and put them on my house. I would definitely think that's a cool thing for us to do as a family. And I think that you're supposed to be willing to climb up on your roof and clean them on a semi-regular basis. And right now my Skimehorn men aren't really willing to climb up on the roof and clean it off of just the leaves and such. So I'll worry about that, because efficiency is a problem with them. And then I don't think a stick or anything is going to necessarily bash your solar panels. Another thing I remember that we looked up is, yes, Sander, is that they prefer that they be on the ground and so many feet away from your house, but that's not ideal for where we live. Clearly, yeah, right? It's dependent on the size of the hail. They have thought about using different, have they? I'm sure. Like, I think that they are constantly looking to upgrade solar panels. And when the whole solar industry first hit, Chad and I talked about, do we want to get solar panels? And our conversation, as best as I remember it, and I bet Chad doesn't remember it at all, was that they are going to get better, and then we can jump on board. Like, it's one of the interesting things about Toyota is they don't ever want to be the first person to invent anything. They want another company to invent it, and then they want to come behind and make it better. That's kind of their Musha, what's it called? Muda?
Muda as waste.
No muda, no waste. That's Japanese for waste. So they don't want to waste their time and resources developing something. They want somebody else to develop it. So I think solar is definitely, it has some room to grow. It's definitely not there. If solar is your problem that you're going to be asked to solve, you need to be able to talk about coming up with a different arrangement so that those toxic chemicals aren't leached into the mantra. Your mantra is like your saying. So, can we get some stories before you end? Gosh, Chad, do we have any stories before we end? You have any stories that crossed your heart?
No, I don't have them. I don't really have any great stories. You know what I've been thinking about is the time that I put you on a Harley Davidson and turned you loose and you rode a Harley that fell on your leg.
Yes, so Chad, I bought Chad a Harley Davidson for our 4th anniversary. And I don't know, I may have paid too much money for it, but he was going on and on and on about how he wanted a Harley Davidson. And, I'm one of those people. Sarah said she's going to try and make it next time. She said she misses and loves you too. Good. That makes me feel better. So, he will talk and 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 talk. And it just drives me crazy. And I'm like, just buy a stupid Harley and let's get on with it. So my neighbor, who was a crazy man, for real, Mr. Paul, crazy. He showed me his no-no square. I don't know that he was sober enough to know he showed me his no-no square, but he did. It was traumatizing. He had this
It's a story
Harley.
for another day.
Yeah, yeah, we could save that story for another day. And so I bought the Harley for Mr. Paul and gave it to Chad, and he was very excited. It was a lot like the lawnmower, I think, when I gave it to him. And so Chad decided that I needed to learn how to drive the Harley, but he wanted to do it in the backyard, in our backyard. So it was very powerful. I remember that. Like, I wasn't scared of anything, riding anything until this incident. And after this incident, even riding jet skis, like, it's kind of bad now. It's a little traumatic. So I took off, and it took off with so much power, and the grass was so not good that the Harley fell on me, and the handlebar like drove into my thigh, and it made a dead spot in my thigh. So I went through physical therapy and all this stuff, and Chad never reacts this way, but this one particular time, he just started laughing. Like, he just thought it was hilarious that I had wrecked and that this motorcycle had fallen on me. And I don't know if he thought it was funny because, like, I was telling him I could do it and blah, 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 blah. And he thought he was going to teach me a lesson. And as I look up, and I'm just like, and he looks down at me, and I was like, I did not know that I didn't crush my leg. So made Chad feel very bad. And I still have a little dead divot in my thigh from
Harley wreck.
From a Harley wreck. So, chicks dig scars, and evidently, guys.
Skinny rides Harleys.
I rode a Harley. I would ride a Harley again, but I have decided I want one of those 3-wheelers, and I would ride the life out of that thing. Like, I would, although most of the ones I found say that they're mopeds. And that makes it feel less cool to me, is that I don't know that I want it to be a moped. So you should tell the story about the horse laughing gas thing. Dakota wants you to tell this one. The horse laughing gas thing.
Ketamine, I bet.
Oh, ketamine. Oh. Jet skis are fun to ride. Yeah, well, I'm not in any place. I'm not in a tell. You're just going to have to tell Dakota that I am not going to tell the ketamine on YouTube Live today. But, Xander, I'm sorry that you have to go, yes. Kaylee invited us to her house and then retracted it. I saw it. So tomorrow, all you're going to have is vocab quiz. That's it. We won't have YouTube Live until Thursday, and then on Thursday we will do lecture. I have 16.3 and 16.4 because I think hydropower is very short, and the bulk of the hydropower is the Bosman science video. So if you are a prepper, then you want to watch the Bosman science video before lecture. And if you are a consumer after lecture, then watch that then. But I watched the Bosman video, and it's basically your entire section in your textbook. He's already done it. So that's what we'll do tomorrow. So Luke attending yoga class. Oh, this hasn't caught up. So without that, family, I miss you. I even got it hot rolled my hair today for you. And as always, let me know if there's something I need to do for you. Chad shaking me off like, yeah, legit only 5 slides. Yes. So the Bosman video is like, I don't know, somewhere like 15 minutes. So I decided that was the thing to do, is to make it short because you guys are going to watch that video. So having said all of that, I love you guys. I love you, family. I miss you. Still praying for you. And, I thought you were talking about a 3-wheeler, not a 3-wheeled motorcycle. That's why I retracted it. I I want a 3-wheeled motorcycle, but I think I want the one with the 2 wheels in the front, which I'm afraid is a moped. I don't care. I think I'd be cool. I think I could pull it off. All right. I love you guys. I will see you soon. Not see you, but see you.